Amara lived in a big house with shiny floors and big windows. Her father, Mr. Okoye, was a very rich man in Lagos. He bought her toys, books, clothes, anything she wanted. But she was not happy. She missed something deep in her heart. Her mother died when she was a baby. Now her father was always busy with work. He traveled a lot and barely had time for her. Amara didn't want more toys. She wanted a mother, a real mother. One day, she looked in the mirror and said, "If Daddy won't find her, I will." But how? That night, she made a secret plan. But this plan would take her to the streets and into danger. The next evening, Amara wore dirty clothes. She put dust on her cheeks and wore torn slippers. She looked like a homeless girl. Her driver, Babatunde, helped her sneak out. He was old and kind. He had cared for her since she was small. Amara sat on the floor near a busy restaurant on Admiralty Way. She held a plastic bowl and kept her head low. People walked past. Some gave her coins, some looked away. She wasn't there for food or money. She was watching, looking, waiting for someone different. But who she met next would change everything. Rain started to fall. Amara tried to hide under a tree. A young woman came out of the restaurant holding a small food pack. She stopped when she saw Amara. "Oh no, you're wet," the woman said gently. She knelt and opened the pack. It had rice, beans, and 2 slices of plantain. "Take mine," she said with a smile. Amara looked into her eyes. They were kind, soft, not pity, just love. "What's your name?" the woman asked. "Uche," Amara lied. "I'm Tenny," she said. "Eat slowly, okay?" Amara nodded. That night, Amara couldn't stop smiling. She had found the one. But how could a rich girl bring a poor teacher into her world without telling the truth? Every evening that week, Miss Tenny brought Amara food or water or just a warm hug. She was a teacher, but her school had closed. She was now staying with her aunt and looking for a job. Amara knew this was her chance. One morning, she told her father at breakfast, "Daddy, I think I need a nanny." He looked up in surprise. "A nanny?" "Yes, just when you travel, someone kind." He nodded slowly. "Okay. I'll tell my assistant to find someone." Amara smiled. She already knew the perfect person, but she didn't know. Miss Tenny might not say yes if she finds out the truth. Women came for the job. Some wore too much perfume. Some looked too proud. Amara watched them secretly from her room. Then, on Thursday, the gate opened, and Miss Tenny walked in. She wore a plain dress. Her shoes were simple. Her eyes looked around, amazed by the big house. Amara's heart beat fast. Mr. Okoye welcomed her. They talked for a while. He liked her. She was respectful and calm. Then he said, "Let me call my daughter." Amara walked in. Miss Tenny turned. Her eyes widened. It was her, the poor girl. But Amara only smiled and said, "Hello, Miss Tenny." Miss Tenny's hands began to shake. Should she run away or stay? She looked at Amara, then at Mr. Okoye. She said nothing. Mr. Okoye laughed. "She's shy, but I think you'll like her." Amara walked up to Tenny and gave her a small hug. Happily. "You're hired," her father said. Miss Tenny nodded slowly. She was still confused. That week, she started work. She helped with homework. She told stories. She made food. Amara felt warm again. Mr. Okoye noticed too. He started coming home earlier, talking more, smiling more. He looked at Tenny in a different way now. But Amara knew. The truth had to come out soon, or everything would fall apart. But not everyone was happy. One person was watching, closely. Her name was Miss Flora, Mr. Okoye's personal assistant. She was tall, always wore shiny clothes, and walked like she owned the house. Miss Flora had worked for Mr. Okoye for 5 years. She wanted something more. She wanted to marry him. But Mr. Okoye didn't see her that way. One morning, Miss Flora walked into Amara's room with fake kindness in her voice. Sweetly, "Good morning, sweetheart," she said, with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "I made your favorite, pancakes." Amara frowned. "Miss Tenny already made me some." Flora's smile dropped for 1 second, then came back quickly. Softly, "That's nice. But don't forget who really cares for your father," she said, then walked away. Amara watched her leave. Something felt wrong. Later that day, Amara heard Miss Flora on the phone. She was whispering in the hallway, "She's just a nanny. Soon I'll be the one sitting next to him at dinner." Amara's heart raced. Miss Tenny stood still. She knew what Miss Flora was trying to do. She wanted her dad, but not for love, for money. She didn't care about Amara. She didn't even like her. Amara ran to her room and sat on her bed. Her hands were shaking. She had to move fast. She had to tell the truth before Miss Flora tricked her father. The birthday dinner was just days away, and Amara knew it was now or never. Amara's 9th birthday came. She told her father, "No big party, just dinner with you and Miss Tenny." They sat in the garden. There were lights in the trees. The food was simple. The night was peaceful. After eating, Amara stood up. "I have something to say," she said. She looked at Miss Tenny. "I lied. I'm not Uche. I'm Amara Okoye. I dressed like that because I wanted to find a mother, a kind woman, one who loves me even when I look poor." Miss Tenny was shocked. Her hands covered her mouth. Amara turned to her dad. "Daddy, I choose her, not as a nanny, as my mother." Mr. Okoye said nothing. Tenny had tears in her eyes. But would Mr. Okoye listen or send Miss Tenny away? Days passed. Miss Tenny didn't leave. She stayed. She cared, and Mr. Okoye watched her closely. One sunny Saturday, he called Amara into his study. She sat on his lap. "I asked Miss Tenny to marry me," he said. Amara's eyes grew big. She said yes. Amara screamed with joy. On the wedding day, she wore a white dress like a little bride. She threw flowers. She held both their hands. Miss Tenny whispered, "Thank you for choosing me." Amara smiled. "Thank you for loving me." Now she had both love and family. She didn't have to pretend anymore. Sometimes, the smallest hearts have the biggest plans, and when love is real, it always finds a way. Kindness is tested when no one is watching, and love shows up in unexpected ways. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment your favorite moment, and subscribe for more emotional African tales.